Where are interest rates going in 2023? That's a common question we get, amongst our students, people who are learning to invest in the UK, because obviously interest rates are going to be a big determinant of your profitability, right? Because your interest rates impact your mortgage rates, and your rent minus your mortgage gives you your cash flow. So cash flow is king. Remember that, friends, especially in times like these, where interest rates are going up. You need to be able to buy deals, and only buy deals where you can get a positive cash flow. All right. Some people are saying that, hey, passive income doesn't work. Well, simply because they're looking at the wrong kind of deals, all right, where the rent minus your mortgage, you're not even going to be able to get anything out of any profits out of that. Okay, so it's so important to firstly buy only golden goose properties. And by definition, what I mean by that is properties that even in a high interest rate environment, your rent minus your mortgage and your outgoing expenses still gives you a profit, still gives you cash flow every single month. Right? In that way, you really have peace of mind. You can sleep very well at night. You're not too worried about what happens in the overall economy, because you have created your own economy with these specific properties that we're finding and we're buying. Okay, so back to the topic on interest rates. I think it's no news by now that inflation is at an all-time high worldwide. Specifically in this video, if you're new to the channel, we're talking about investing in UK properties. So my focus will be in the UK, though, in general, this principle happens worldwide as well. So inflation is at an all-time high, and governments around the world essentially are using interest rates as an economic tool to bring down inflation. Right. So what they're doing is, interest rates have been at an all-time low for a long time, almost 0%. That was an anomaly. That was not the norm. But obviously, people got used to that as a norm. And as inflation is going up, and now I think it's about 10% in the UK, then the governments, the Fed first in the US and later the Bank of England in the UK, then started to raise interest rates because the cost of borrowing goes up. Businesses cut back on their spending, even consumers cut back on their spending, right? And as a result of that, there's a deflationary effect, right? So it lowers inflation. However, this is a careful balance, because you don't want to keep interest rates so high for a long extended period of time and push the economy, not just cool inflation, but you start to push the economy into a recession, which, to be honest, we're starting to see some signs of that because of unemployment that's going up. We start to see that in the tech sector, for example, and even in Singapore, right, in the shores of Singapore, people are getting laid off. So that's another thing I will shoot another video on to take note. Those of you who are worried about job security, make sure you watch out for that video, and make sure you click subscribe to this channel to be informed when the video comes out. But back to inflation and interest rates, let me just share my screen right here so that you can see the effect. Whenever inflation is high, like I mentioned, interest rates are then used as a tool to bring down inflation. So this is exactly what is happening now in terms of the Bank of England forecast, right? BOE is the Bank of England. We're now at the start of 2023. Inflation, or consumer price index, which is a measure of inflation. Here, we're almost at the start, right? And if you look at this graph, it's almost at the peak. All right, so in the middle of 2023 onwards, the estimations by the Bank of England is inflation from a 10% is going to come down closer to a 5-6%. And by the end of 2023, maybe about 4%. And in 2024 and onwards, is going to be close to 2% base. That is the inflation at 2% is the ideal. That's what the governments are trying to do. And when that happens, friends, and when inflation comes down, the Bank of England and governments worldwide will then have more leeway to start to lower interest rates as well, because you don't want to keep interest rates high when inflation is low and push your economy further into a recession. All right. So, and we're already starting to see that. If you look here, we're at the start of 2023. So potentially, mark my words on this, right? There might be 1 or 2 smaller hikes in interest rates, and people think, oh my gosh, the news are always about fear mongering, and people are worried in the past, would it go to 9%? Will it go to 12% interest rate? But the expectation, right, is that it will start to taper off and come down over 2023 and then plateau in 2024. So the interesting thing, friends, is that interest rates and even the lending products are starting to come back into the market, right? And this is only if you are working with a broker who is used to working with foreign nationals. For us, because our broker has a pulse on the market so closely, he then is able to tell us, hey, there are more markets, more products coming back. The lenders have flush with money and they want to get more business. So they are actually lowering their rates to start to attract business. And this is in the midst of interest rates going up. So, for the people who are not aware, all right, or may not be educated in the UK property investing side of things, they might be just, oh, I don't know what to do. There's uncertainty, so I'll just wait. But actually, there's great opportunity right now in 2023 and going into 2024 if you are sticking with the right people who are on the ground, who are investing themselves, who know what they're doing and working with experts. Okay, so if you're keen to find out more, do come and join us at our web classes. I run a 2-hour free web class. We don't run this very often, so be sure to click the link below in the description, and I'll see you there. All right, take care. Bye.